Hey guys, welcome back to the Thisissoul Skate Shop YouTube channel. Today I'm gonna tell you everything there is to know about taking out bearings out of your wheels. The short answer is that there's 3 different methods: whip, push, or hammer. The long answer is in this video. So continue watching if you want to go into depth. So you found this video and you want to know how to take out the bearing out of your skates, but it also may be nice to know when to take out the bearing out of the skate. So bearings are fine if they just roll and they don't make a sound. As soon as they start making like a hissing sound, like that sound, something is wrong. And then if you continue skating, the bearing will kind of like destroy itself. The hissing sound means that there's no oil anymore in the bearings. And if there's no oil, the metal on metal friction within the bearing means that it's going to destroy itself. After a while, you'll notice this because then the bearing will just stop working. And this means you got to replace it. You can also replace it sooner, as soon as it starts hissing. It's not really necessary yet, but it might get time soon. You could also start lubricating the bearings and then you'll make it healthy again. If you want to put in the time to maintain your skates like that, that's up to you. Me and all my friends and everybody that I know, we just replace bearings as soon as they kind of like wear down, because bearings are only €1 here at Thisissoul Skate Shop. So you can buy it online on our website. It's called Random Bearings, or here in our store in Amsterdam, where we have a really big store next to the Vondelpark. You can just come in and we have a big jar on the counter filled with bearings for €1. So this is the best way to replace your bearings. These cheap bearings are great. So now you know when to replace your bearings. Now let's get into how to replace them. Before you can replace the bearing, you first need to take out your wheel out of a skate. And you can do this with an Allen key, or sometimes you need actually 2 to take out the wheels. Just unscrew the axle just like any other bolt. You unscrew it counterclockwise, of course, on both sides. So counterclockwise from this side and also from that side. And then take out the axle and then you have your wheel. There are 3 ways to take out a bearing. The first one is to just whip it out. This is done for wheels that have a plastic core, so not metal core wheels, and wheels that have an 8mm axle. The second method is to push out the bearing, and you need to do this if you have a 6mm axle. The third way is to hammer it out, and this is the way you do it if you have a metal core wheel. The core of a wheel is this golden part over here, and maybe you can feel a little bit yourself if it's metal or plastic. Maybe you can judge it, but probably you will know, because metal wheels right now are pretty expensive. So most people here watching this video, especially if you don't know what core you have, you probably have a plastic core. So the next question is, do you have a 6mm or an 8mm axle? Well, obviously you just took out your wheel, so you also have your axle ready. And you can see here the 2 differences in the axle diameter. And you can just measure this with a ruler to see what the diameter of the axle is, if it's 6 or 8. The inside of a bearing is also 8mm. So if you have an 8mm axle, the inside of the bearing is also 8mm. And this means you can just get a screwdriver like this, take the wheel in one hand, put in the screwdriver, and just boom, whip it out. If it doesn't go in one go, then you need to turn the wheel a couple of times and do it from multiple angles. So you whip it a little bit on this side, then you go to the other side and whip it a little bit on the other, and whoop, there it goes. The second way to do it is to push it out. And you do this if you have a 6mm axle. Because your axle is 6mm and the inside of a bearing is 8mm, there's an extra spacer filling up that room. And the spacer looks like this. There's different colors of these type of bearing spacers. And the one that I have right now is copper color, so you can clearly see it sitting inside the bearing right here. And this prevents you from being able to use the whip technique that we just showed. The way to take this out is by pushing on the bearing spacer. And the bearing spacer is really small, so you need like a little cylinder actually in the shape of the bearing spacer itself to push it out. So a really good way to do it is if you have one extra bearing spacer and you put this over a tool or over the original axle, and you create a little tool with that like this. You put this in, then you can just push it here, and then you push it out like that. If you don't have an extra bearing spacer, which there's very likely that you don't have it because all your bearing spacers are actually in your skate itself, then sometimes there's tools that have a little bit of a neck here. So the neck sticks out, and this is meant to use as a tool to push out the bearing spacer. Boom. So this is the tool, here's the neck, and then we can just use this, push it in, boom, boom. Of course, you can buy a tool like this on our website, thisissoul.com, and then you have it. The third way to do this is with a hammer, and for this, I'm gonna ask the help of my friend Eric. Boom. Hi, there you are. Because Eric just needs to replace his wheels. He has metal core wheels. He already took them out for us, and I'm gonna show him how it's done. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I am, yes. All right. It's a little bit complicated if you have a wheel with the metal core, so it needs a little bit more of a preparation as well. What you need is a hammer, and you also need, no, not a screwdriver, you need an 8mm axle. If you did everything right when you set up your metal core wheels, you used bearing spacers which are cylindrical. So there are two types of 8mm bearing spacers. Ones which are cylindrical and ones which are self-centering. Self-centering bearing spacers have like an extra ring surrounding the cylinder. If you set up your metal core wheels with these, then you're screwed and you're probably not gonna take out your bearings. I hope that you did it correctly and used these. Because if you have the cylindrical ones, the bearing spacer can move in the skate. You hear the ticking sound right now. This is the bearing spacer going back and forth. And we're gonna use this maneuverability of the bearing spacer to put the bearing spacer on one side, put it on the table, put the 8mm axle in the bearing and smash it. Because we're gonna smash it, the bearing is gonna drop out of the bottom. And if you do this on a flat surface, this is not gonna work. So that's why we made these two little wooden blocks. You have to put the wheel in the middle of two wooden blocks or something else. You could use basically like tiles or whatever you find around the house maybe, so that the bearing can drop freely. All right, Eric, do you want to do it?
What's your 3 fingers?
Yeah.
Nope.
Let me try. There you go. Yay! All right, cool. So that's the way to take out the bearings. Then, of course, there's one more bearing left. And the best way to do it, I found, is to actually put the axle inverted. So not like you would normally put it in the wheel, but with the head on the bearing. And then you do the same thing. You smash it. All right, Ari, I hope you can do it this time. Okay, one more try, then. There you go. Boom. Woo. There you go, kids. So this is the way. Now we just have to do the rest, I guess. This is the way to take out bearings out of a metal core wheel. If you want to put the bearings back in, there's a few different techniques. but the best way to do it is with a special bearing press tool. This is just a piece of thread like this, and yeah, let's show everybody. Get 2 new bearings, boom boom. First you put one bearing on, then the bearing spacer, then the wheel, then another bearing, and then the extra part here, boom. And then just tighten it, and that's how you put in the bearings easily. There you go. Boom. Perfect. Here you go. Boom. If you don't have a tool like this, you can also buy it on our website, thisissoul.com, or if you're in the neighborhood, you can just come by and use ours. That's no problem. If you want to buy new wheels with the bearings included, then this is also possible, but because we have on our website bearing mounting service. So if you buy any metal wheels on our website, you can buy the mounting service together with it, and then we'll do it for you. All right, that's it. That's everything there is to know about taking out the bearings out of your wheels. If you have any more questions, you can drop it in the comments. Let me know if we missed anything, or if you have any good questions. We'll see it over there. And we make a new video like this every week, so consider subscribing, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Intro dance. No good lubrication anymore in the oil. The sandwich will act like the oil. Maybe I shouldn't go too much talking about food. Now let's get into and for this I'm gonna volgende keer sneller, ja? Oké, dan weet je nu wanneer. En voor this I'm gonna ask for that. Ja? Yes? Gaan we nog een keer. Here. We're gonna cut this. Taking out wheels out of your bearings. Dat was niet zo moeilijk, toch?